just want to thank everyone for coming out today and citizens all across this nation today, because really it is a day to celebrate. It's a day to celebrate our democracy and us standing up to take back our democracy. Mary Beth, thank you very much for being truly on the front line and in the trenches and Common Cause. Thank you, Trent Lang, for really, as far back as I can remember, fighting for clean elections, and other organizations that are sponsoring this event. Let me just say this, and starting off with what I have to say. Overturning Citizens United, as we all know, is a heavy lift. It's a lift that's began with grassroots, with organizations that are determined, just like you and all of us here today, are going to take back our democracy. It's about accountability. Trent has been fighting for years and years with 1648 and now AB 52, once again to make our voices heard and make our representatives accountable to us. Here in the state of California, we worked so hard to turn back our state in terms of taking back our legislature and being able to move it forward, and taking back the Senate up in Sacramento with Democratic leaders. And if we're going to get SB 52 passed, it's going to take everybody here, all your friends, take 5, and holding our representatives accountable. Yeah. We saw what happened in these last elections in 2012, and we as a voice collectively gave a mandate. We fought against Prop 32, just like where Trent was talking about in terms of the Arizona PAC money coming in here and spending $11 million and trying to deceive voters and taking the voice away from unions and union members being able to contribute to campaigns through their paychecks. People, that wasn't just unions. That was an attack on you and I. That was an attack on our democratic process. It was an attack on the Democratic Party, because unions help the Democratic Party in getting your vote and your voice out. It's not an accident that we see voter suppression taking place and laws being passed in 33 states across this country to suppress minority votes. But one thing that really inspired me during these elections and also in the fight for Citizens United was I saw voters in Ohio, I saw voters in Florida, I saw voters all across this country standing in line for 7 to 8 hours saying, "You will not take my vote. You will not suppress my vote." This is what we have to do in terms of getting Citizens United overturned. Just like Martin Luther King said he had a dream, well, our nation has that same dream in terms of equality. We all have that dream in terms of voters' rights. We all have that dream in terms of collective bargaining. We all have that dream in terms of our nation's children having the best education that they can have. We all have that dream in terms of our representatives being representative of us and not corporations and the big spending lobbyists back in Washington, D.C. It's going to take 5. It's going to take you. It's going to take me. It's going to take everybody getting behind Common Cause and Mary Beth and all the organizations that are working so hard to return our democracy back to the people, because truly this is a government of the people. Corporations haven't figured that out yet, but we showed them with the 2012 elections that we have a referendum in this country and that our voices will not be silenced. We will take money out of politics, and Trent will work just as hard as you've been working in terms of really making our elections clean. I want to share a story with you that right now I'm facing in my neighborhood in terms of fighting, quote unquote, just like Trent was saying, how the Chamber of Commerce lobbied up in Sacramento to keep, 48 and passing the legislature. I live in a very small, quiet bedroom community here in Los Angeles, known as Westchester. How many people know where Westchester is? Oh, wow. I'm impressed, because most people don't know. For years, we fought in terms of our identity, our quality of life, the environment. We fought to have our community cohesive and as a whole against airport expansion. And right now, we're on ground zero. There's a plan that's coming forward in this city to move the north runway 260 feet north towards our Westchester community. It's a huge billion-dollar project that, in my opinion and most opinions, and even safety studies, will not make the airport safe. And although it's come under that guise that, you know, it's a safety issue, so on and so forth. But it's all about money, people. My community is collectively now, we're organizing because we're up against the Chamber of Commerce. We're against downtown business development. We're against billions of dollars being, and hundreds of thousands of dollars for quote unquote jobs. We're fighting against PACs, super money PACs being put in councilmen's campaign funds. This is a fight that, again, it's the David and Goliath fight, just like we feel sometimes in terms of the Citizens United fight. But we're not going to roll over. We're going to make our voices heard. We're going to hold our representatives in city council accountable. We're going to hold our mayoral candidates accountable in terms of what they're doing, how our money is being spent, what the impacts will be on our nation, and what the impacts will be, excuse me, not on our nation, but on our community and on the city of Los Angeles, and how your tax dollars are going to be spent. It's going to be a huge fight, and we're being, in an effort, I might say, to be steamrolled. The time frame is very short. But just with determination like each of us have here collectively today, our voices will be heard, and if we're going down with the fight. But I just want to thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to get back to, you know, how the fight that I'm experiencing on the ground in my neighborhood relates to Citizens United and our votes. Because if we don't overturn Citizens United, if we don't get SB 52 passed in the legislature, if we don't identify who's putting all this big money into our elections and taking our democracy and attempting to take our voices, we as a people, where do we go? We go to one another. We go to the streets. We go and make phone calls. We go and we organize. And once again, we show corporations that this is a nation of people. Thank you very much.